People, what is going on today, you guys? I hope everybody is doing fantastic out there. This is the first episode of Talking Greatness with Jimdirt54. As you guys know, this episode is going to start every Sunday at 1 o'clock. This is going to drop, so you guys definitely stop by, try to give it to a listen. Today's topic is The Undertaker, all right? So we talk about The Undertaker. For you guys that don't know, I didn't really get to see The Undertaker back in the 90s. Didn't really get to see him around then. I started watching The Undertaker when he was this American badass gimmick. Doesn't mean I haven't been back to check out The Undertaker. I mean, you got to think the Dead Man, him with Paul Bearer, him taking on Giant Gonzalez, him taking on Diesel, Shawn Michaels, all these people back in the day. And then you go up forward to when I first started watching them. The very first time I started watching The Undertaker was about 2002. He was in a ladder match with Jeff Hardy. Probably one of the great matches I ever seen with The Undertaker in it. Never really see Undertaker in ladder matches that quite often. And it was for the Undisputed Belt, and he ended up winning. He was a heel at this time, but I started watching him more and more. And to me, this Undertaker, American badass, biker, big evil, that was my favorite character in WWE history. It's not even close. It's not absolutely close. The Undertaker is such a dominant, beast mode type guy. I love what he does for this business. I mean, he's the head of the locker room. He ran the locker room. Everything went behind him. I loved his dedication to the business. I love his dedication to the work. He never wanted to go with a bad match. You guys see him in a bunch of podcasts and all that kind of stuff now, him talking about his career. So, it was good seeing that and just seeing the Undertaker grow. And we think about through 2002. This is where I kind of start, seeing the Undertaker from that triple threat vengeance match he had with The Rock and Kurt Angle to meeting Brock Lesnar at Unforgiven to a Hell in a Cell match at No Mercy. He was such young. He loved to help out these young talent. Brock Lesnar was actually the big guy back in the day. But Undertaker could work with anybody. That's my main thing. He had a bunch of big matchups with the Big Show that would come up. I love the storyline between them. He would start getting storyline with a bunch of these young people, like John Cena was another one. And, it's just crazy, man. This rapper John Cena taking on The Undertaker. If you think about that today, like WrestleMania 34, you think of that as being one of the top craziest matches of all time. I mean, we got rapper Cena going against The Undertaker. So, and watch him through 2003 was awesome too. I love the American Badass gimmick. He was still trying to give himself an title match. Definitely deserved himself being. To me, I think he should have been more of a champion around that time. I would love to have seen him been more of a champion as the good guy, badass biker type guy. I mean, Undertaker was not one of the guys you wanted to mess around with. He definitely wasn't. Fast forward to one of my first DVDs that I ever got was No Mercy 2003, where we had Brock Lesnar take on The Undertaker. I'm pretty sure it was something on a pole match. And if you guys remember, that happened at the end. Vince McMahon came out, cost The Undertaker his belt, so setting up this whole storyline for them. As they move forward to the next WrestleMania. And the Buried Alive match was really good. It was, very good storyline. I love the relationship between Kane and The Undertaker. I mean, these two guys, man, when you're like my age around that time, 10 or 9, and you seeing that, well, you seeing Kane burying The Undertaker alive, you think it's all crazy and stuff. But, them guys got along so much. They were just two great people to always be around with each other. And a storyline between them two, it's just always awesome to happen. If you guys remember back in WrestleMania 15, I'm pretty sure it was either 15, yeah, WrestleMania 15. I'm pretty sure that's when it was. These guys took on each other after he set them on fire on that casket. I remember that Royal Rumble. That was actually really good, where Shawn actually retained his title. Going into that WrestleMania, I was there at WrestleMania 20. I was still young. I think I was about 8 years old. I think my brother was about 6. And it was kind of crazy, man, that we had a chance when we were going to be, we went to Toys R Us, and this is the one with like a big Ferris wheel on it. And if we didn't go inside Toys R Us, we would have passed the Undertaker. The Undertaker literally was walking right past us when we were walking in. So that one kind of really hurt me too, because I that's one of the guys. If I can meet any wrestler in the world, it'd be the Undertaker. If I could just sit down and pick through his brain for a long time, it's 100% going to be the Undertaker. The Undertaker is my all-time favorite character. He's my all-time favorite wrestler. There's nobody that's even top or close to him. It's just the Undertaker. He don't have to be the top guy in the league or top guy, at the Raw, SmackDown, or at the event, because he was the guy I definitely watched out for. So now we see this man go to a dead man persona in 2004 and seeing him as, this dead man, seeing him come down at WrestleMania 20 and seeing Kane's face as he's freaking out and seeing that the dead man's still alive, he was definitely the dead man character was pretty good too, and I love what he did. And then around like 2004, 2005, 2006, I was getting to a point where I wasn't able to watch SmackDown. I never had the SmackDown channel. I always had the Raw channel, but I would always click over and see what's going on. Undertaker taking on the Dudleys at Great American Bash, him dealing with Heidenreich, him trying to get a championship match with JBL in 2004. He always wanted to get his spot. I remember he had that other match where he was supposed to take on JBL and win, and Heidenreich still jumped in, entered the match, and screwed him over. And then we go into WrestleMania. We go into WrestleMania 21, where The Undertaker is going to take on Randy Orton, Legend Killer versus Legend. And this is where I started realizing this man had a streak. This man is running it. He's not losing this matchup. He's going to win this matchup. I didn't really see Randy Orton at that time as a guy to defeat the Undertaker. Really, if I was really, to me, the streak should have never ended. I don't care what Vince is calling or anything like that. There should have been no reason, zero reason, that the Undertaker streak should have ended. Brock Lesnar didn't need it. Brock Lesnar was already at the top of his game. We'll get to that in a little bit, but we all know the streak shouldn't have been ended. So we go through 2005. Like I said, I didn't get to see much of the Undertaker around then. Undertaker was probably dealing with other stuff going on. I know he's dealing with like Mr. Kennedy at some point with a few of it. But we go ahead and fast forward through 2005 and we get to 2006. Start seeing how great that these matches start become. Undertaker, doesn't even want to be in the world title picture yet, which I respect and I love that because you can just put him anywhere. And him taking on Mark Henry WrestleMania 22 was a good match. Don't think Mark was the guy either to kind of top him off, to beat him at that time. I think the Undertaker definitely stood, keep the streak running and keep going. Great match by him. He does his thing at WrestleMania 22, and then we just go through 2006, and we see this new guy starting to come by. We remember the Great Khali. Undertaker was having a bunch of issues with the Great Khali back then. ECW was starting to come around too. If you guys remember that, that's when ECW started coming for a short stint, deal. Through 2006, man, he was still doing his thing. He's a beast at what he does. And I just remember him just always being that, if you guys remember Teddy Long was always just like, you're going to go one-on-one with The Undertaker. And I love that type of stuff because nobody wants to get in the ring with The Undertaker. I don't care who you are in the WWE. With his character, at that point. So we fast forward, get to the Royal Rumble 2007. Man, I'll tell you what, man, seeing The Undertaker win the Royal Rumble was really nice. I think he absolutely deserved it. One of my favorite ones I wish he would have done, which I was pulling for him, was 2003. We know Brock was moving his way up there, but I would love seeing The Undertaker win that match. Great Royal Rumble match. Great ending. I love the Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker battling out between each other. These guys are the two top superstars, in their, league non-champion wise, Shawn Michaels being the biggest star on Raw and, The Undertaker being the biggest Raw on SmackDown. Won the Royal Rumble, and I thought that the tag team matches were just awesome. I loved the whole Undertaker and Batista teaming up, taking on John Cena and Shawn Michaels. I love that type of stuff. I love when they do that type of stuff. I wish they bring that stuff back because matches like that were just awesome. I mean, to see a tag team match like that was just absolutely great to watch. And then WrestleMania 23, a lot of good matches. You had the Battle of the Billionaires, Money in the Bank, a lot of stuff going on. Talk about the John Cena, and you would think John Cena and Shawn Michaels could have threw the house down. They could have been the ones that, said, "Man, this is our time. This is our this is our chance to be the biggest main event." But man, Batista and Undertaker, man, they threw the house down. I mean, that was the match of the night. I mean, Undertaker, being the new world heavyweight champion, holding on to it for as long as he can, and just giving these younger superstars opportunities and all that. You think about '07, 2008, and 2009 SmackDown, you really kind of think more about Edge. Edge was definitely a champion material at the time. He's already won the champion a few times. Him winning that, getting that Money in the Bank briefcase from Mr. Kennedy and keep it rolling was a good start for him. Love the rival between these three guys. It just seemed like it was the Undertaker, or it's Edge, or it's Batista running it in 2007. You even throw Rey Mysterio in the mix if you really wanted to. Through 2007, man. But we were actually starting to get to a point, Undertaker's getting to a point where his age is starting to come, and he can't do this type of action anymore. And I mean, he's been going for a long time, man. I mean, he went for 30 years, and it might not have been, doing every live event, but the man stick for the business in 30 years, and you got to give that man respect for that. So we keep fast forward, and we go to 2008. And you remember the Undertaker was in that Royal Rumble too. That was actually kind of good. I liked seeing that matchup. He didn't win, but we go into WrestleMania 24, and now we see undefeated Edge against undefeated Undertaker. And you would think, Edge wins this match. That's going to be a really big thing for him to go up. I mean, to beat the streak and doing all that stuff and keep you undefeated be pretty good. But Edge didn't need it. Once again, it's another superstar that didn't need it. We got to keep the streak running. Undertaker deserved that win. Be another world heavyweight champion again. It was just awesome to see. You got to give the man respect like that. So, like throughout 2008, it was just Undertaker and Edge, Batista yet again. It just seemed like those three guys were running on SmackDown. Once again, I didn't get a lot of stuff on SmackDown. I didn't really ever have the channels. I was always a Monday Night Raw guy. I wish I could have seen SmackDown more. I would love seeing the Undertaker more of the badass era. Man, I gotta keep watching clips, man, because I love watching this American Badass Undertaker. Him coming out in 2000, man. I mean, freaking in his bike, at Judgment Day with that whole song going on, just wiping everybody out. So yeah, he's just a beast of what he does. So we keep fast forwarding, and now we're going to 2009. Think about this match. This match to me is the best wrestling match I've ever seen The Undertaker in. WrestleMania 25, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. Great match. That is the best match I've ever seen The Undertaker in. I think he gave it his all. He talks about that whole referee spot, and I get all that, but man, sitting there at WrestleMania 25 and watching these two guys go at it was one hell of a match. I think, and everybody knows Shawn Michaels didn't need it. Shawn Michaels was just at that point where he's given. I mean, Shawn Michaels ran in the 90s so well that he didn't need this type of stuff. Great match though, and then of course you see the Undertaker slowly start doing smaller dates. He wasn't really going to a bunch of main events, which we kind of seen that starting to come. And then 2010, we go fast forward, we go to WrestleMania 26, and we got part two, streak versus career. Absolutely great match again. It's one of my top favorites also. You know, these two guys know how to throw a show down. I think Sean can work with anybody. I've heard that a lot of stuff from what people say. Other wrestlers and all that. They throw the house down, man. These guys did. Sad ending. I knew it was coming. I knew the Shawn Michaels was really at the end of his ropes, anyways. I knew he was ready to retire and do his own thing, and I just didn't ever think that streak was ever going to be broken. So I definitely knew the Undertaker was going to win at WrestleMania 26, get the win. It was definitely a great match for him. Now, The Undertaker does still, end up in 2010. He has his little World Heavyweight Championship battle, and he's dealing with this whole, with Kane. And when Kane finally put him to rest and kept the world title, him and Edge started going after it. The Undertaker pops up on Raw. And then we see a guy who we didn't see until after, I want to say, Extreme Rules, when he took on Sheamus. We see Triple H pop up. And you can just feel the intensity in that arena. You got You got Triple H on one side, you got the Undertaker on the other. They're both just doing a long stare down. Both look at the sign, and then man, seeing them two guys go at it, bro. This was my second favorite match by the Undertaker of all time. The no holds bar match between Triple H and the Undertaker was so good, man. I love the fact that Triple H hit him with the freaking tombstone. I love the fact he was trying to just keep beating him down with the chair nonstop. I mean, because Shawn Michaels and Triple H are different. I mean, Shawn Michaels is such a great guy in the ring, but Triple H was just so ruthless, man. He is trying to tell that man he needs to stay down. He does not need to get up. And that's what he did, man. Absolutely great match. And just seeing, Triple H grab the sledgehammer, walk over to him, and then all of a sudden Hell's Gates just gets him. And seeing that man tap, it's great way to win, for the Undertaker. And it was a great match. And of course, Undertaker moved really slowly throughout the ring. And if you guys remember, this is the last match that the man had his long hair. Of course, he grew it back, but this is the last match you've seen with his long hair for a while. So then we fast forward again. Undertaker didn't do a lot of dates, but what's funny about this is that Shawn was begging so much to get that rematch. Undertaker kept saying no until Shawn Michaels kicked him out of Elimination Chamber. Now we flip it. Now the Undertaker didn't like the fact of the way the last WrestleMania was because Triple H walked out the arena fine and Undertaker's getting carried. And how do we top it off? My third favorite match, which was really great, crazy ending too, the Hell in a Cell match, WrestleMania 28. Man, what a show. Man, what a good match. I think these guys, they tore the freaking house down at WrestleMania 28. And seeing Shawn as a special guest referee, I mean, you see him hit the sweet chin music and pedigree. Shawn's trying to count fast, and The Undertaker's still kicking out. Gotta give respect to The Undertaker, man. The Undertaker is a beast of what he does and he's just keeps on doing his thing, man. And great match. Undertaker did it. They ended the era. It was for me, kind of a sad time era for me, because I didn't want to see that era go. I didn't know if The Undertaker was still gonna be doing WrestleManias. I mean, nobody really knew. Nobody paid attention. Nobody really seen. So that was really good to see that type of match. Keep fast forwarding. Undertaker's not really doing a lot of dates. And then we go to WrestleMania 29. WrestleMania 29, CM Punk versus The Undertaker. Really sad times. Paul Bearer just passed away. And I understand WWE. I understand what you guys do. There's just a lot of things. I believe that's too soon. The whole Paul Bearer thing could have just been, and maybe not from Undertaker's or WWE's perspective, but from a family perspective. Paul Bearer's got family. You don't know if some of the people were okay with it and some people are not. I just don't think you need to take shots like that. I think CM Punk and Undertaker could have threw down the show and made it a lot better. So great match between these guys. I love the fact that CM Punk did grab the urn. I think it's a great storyline, but we all know as it is, CM Punk didn't need to be pushed up the way he did. Before this, he was one of the longest reigning WWE champions. Held it from 2011 to 2013. You got to give the man his credit. So great match once again. Now we fast forward again. This one hurt me, you guys. This one, and just like the fans out there, probably just like the wrestlers in the back, just like a lot of people probably seen, my mouth was wide open. I was in total shock to see that The Undertaker lost his streak. A lot of people always got opinion on it. Me, I'll always tell you guys the streak should have never ended. Streak should have stayed the way it should have been. It was such a grateful thing to watch him every single year, and it kept pushing it. Like, is this the year that he's gonna lose? Is this year he's gonna lose? Brock Lesnar didn't need it. Everybody knew Brock Lesnar didn't need it. Before this, he was doing other types of matches and all that kind of stuff. He didn't need it. He was gonna be a champion no matter what. He was a beast at what he did. And it was funny that year he did beat The Undertaker and John Cena the same year, Brock Lesnar. He didn't need it. I believe there could have been other superstars out there that definitely deserved it a little bit more, in my opinion. But because Brock is just Brock. I mean, you gotta give Brock his credit. He's a beast at what he does. And to me, Undertaker should have kept the streak running. It should have just been plain as day. Super shocked. Wasn't just me that was shocked. My dad was shocked. My brother was shocked, and we're just in disbelief. I mean, the fact that they didn't even play an entrance theme or like Brock Lesnar's theme music at the end of the match showed you it was dead silent in that arena, and it was for a reason. So, like I said, it was an absolutely great match, though. Absolutely great match. So we gotta keep on fast forwarding and keep doing the thing. Rest in peace to my boy Bray Wyatt. I think he deserved a lot more than what he was dealing with in WWE. I think that, on a personal note, they ruined his Fiend character. But man, I love the Eater of the World, man. I think that Bray Wyatt with his family, taking on the Undertaker at WrestleMania 31, trying to show who's one's freakier. When you see the Undertaker rise up and then you see Bray Wyatt doing his little backwards look on them people like that, you just can't get more classic than that. It was just such a great match between these guys, 100%. And Undertaker got the dub. How to bounce back. You gotta give the man a little bit of bounce back. Um, Now that the streak's kind of over, I can understand Undertaker taking a loss here or there. It's at that point where you can take a loss here, you can take a loss there. 100% understand. So great bounce back from the Undertaker. I think Bray could have really used it over a lot of superstars, in my opinion. But he it was definitely a great match. But then we're not gonna fast forward fully. So now back to back matches. All right, we're in 2015. It is the Undertaker against Brock Lesnar, where they face each other twice. And we seen the Undertaker said, "I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win," and he hits him with a low blow and beats Brock Lesnar. Undertaker had to get payback, man. It just seemed like Brock Lesnar and Undertaker, anytime they fought, Brock always had his number. You think about Unforgiven 2002, No Mercy 2002, No Mercy 2003. I mean, then at WrestleMania 30, he loses again. I mean, Undertaker deserves his little bit of credit, at least by a clean win. So he deserved to get his wins against Brock Lesnar. So that was good for him. Now we keep fast forwarding. Shane McMahon decides to return. And I kind of like this type of deal. I knew that, the Undertaker has to find a match. We got to find something for him. Shane wants full power of Raw and SmackDown. All he has to do is beat The Undertaker. I love the little promos from it. I thought it was really funny when basically the Undertaker just called, Shane McMahon, daddy's little rich boy, and Vince McMahon calling Undertaker his bitch. Love that type of stuff. Hell in a Cell again. After 4 years, you don't see a Hell in a Cell match since WrestleMania 28 at 2012. And seeing Shane jump off that top of that Hell in a Cell, it just always. I mean, I don't know if I could ever do that type of stuff like what Shane does. I mean, Shane's crazy. And I remember when he jumped off and he didn't move for a second. And I remember just looking at the camera, guy like, is he okay? Is he straight? Kind of reminds me of that whole Undertaker and Mankind. When Undertaker threw him across threw him out the Hell in a Cell. Undertaker's looking down like, is he moving? Is he okay? Because I need to know, man, for real. Of course, the Undertaker definitely got the win. Shane McMahon still got power of Monday Night. I think it was SmackDown or Raw at the time. I know he ended up going to SmackDown. So another great match between this guy. So we keep fast forwarding. We got another WrestleMania. We're at WrestleMania 33, 2017. Man, Undertaker against Roman Reigns. If you guys remember the promo after, this is the one that, like I said, I think Roman did need a little bit of a push at this time just to show that he's the guy of the company. He's the guy that's taken over. First it was basically Hulk Hogan in the 80s. Then, of course, you just had a bunch of mixture. Maybe Bret Hart can say for the 90s. Then, of course, you had Stone Cold and The Rock in the late 90s to John Cena stepping up. They need a new guy. And to me, Roman definitely deserved this win. But, man, that promo after that man beat The Undertaker, that was crazy. It felt like Dominic Mysterio was out there for a second. The boos throughout that arena was crazy. The chants out there were absolutely crazy. Roman can only get a few words out. And if you guys can remember that, he's like, he gets his mic real close and he says, "This is my yard now." And the boos just come down like crazy. Absolutely wild. I couldn't believe how crazy that was to see this man get booed that hard, bro. But you beat the treasure, man. You beat the Undertaker. We only get to see him once in a while, so definitely a good one. Undertaker puts his hat in the ring. He puts his little jacket in the ring. I'm pretty sure he puts his boots in the ring if I remember it right. And everybody thought it was over for him. They said he lost. He's walking out. But to me, Undertaker can't go out with the loss. There's just no way you can go out with that. So we fast forward WrestleMania 34. We finally get to see the dream match, but it's just too bad. John Cena's at that time. He's really not. He's just a part-time superstar. Undertaker's only making small appearances. I love the whole John Cena waiting in the stands. And then, oh shoot, Undertaker's here. I'm jumping up. Quick squash match. John Cena was definitely talking a lot of smack them weeks too, and it was cracking me up. John Cena can cut a promo really good. And if you guys remember, the backstage thing was the fact that after Undertaker won his match, he remember looking at his daughter, and his daughter basically gave him a thumbs up and thumbs down, basically saying like, "Well, I'm glad you won, but you kind of beat up on my man John Cena though." And it was just funny, he basically had to, John Cena explained to the daughter like, he's been talking smack about me all this week. So great match, it's a quick squash match. Definitely gotta give that man his credit for like that. Um, so man, I mean, just crazy like that. Then of course we go to 2018. I mean 2019 WrestleMania 35. I mean, it was just so much WrestleMania's going on. And if I remember correctly, I don't think Undertaker showed up for WrestleMania 35 because I think he missed that year. I might be wrong. Guys, I'm trying to get all my facts right, but I might be wrong. I think he missed that year because I remember them being back in 2020. And that 2021, man, in Tampa, where it was the little matchup where they did like the vignette matchup, him against AJ Styles. I love that match, man. I absolutely love that match. It was funny. It was a good cinematic match. Undertaker definitely deserved that win to walk away. So I think that was really it for him. Undertaker still made appearances as he goes, but that seemed to be basically the it for him. And it was good to see him bring back the whole American badass type deal. He just, coming back on his bike, coming down and just beating him down, beating Carl Anderson down. Trying to remember the other guy's name. Oh my gosh, can't believe Luke Gallows beating them down with AJ Styles, and just him riding his bike off was pretty good. So Undertaker's had such a fantastic career. To me, he should have been more of a champion. But I'm biased in that type of situation. And then, of course, we can end it like this with the Undertaker. WrestleMania 40 might be one of the best endings I've ever seen in wrestling history. It was absolutely great. From seeing, I'm pretty sure it was Jimmy Uso coming out, to Jay Uso coming out, to Solo helping out, to John Cena coming out, to The Rock coming out, and then finally you bring out The Undertaker. I mean, dude, as much as everybody would have loved seeing Stone Cold right there, when The Undertaker popped up, seeing that man, The Rock's face, was just wild. He knew what was coming. He knew he was screwed at that point. Love seeing that with The Undertaker. Undertaker is just one hell of a character. He's had one hell of a ride. I mean, he's just probably, like I said, best characters I've ever seen made. I'll always put the American Badass, Big Evil at my top list. There's no one ever better to me. He's had some of the greatest matches I've ever seen. He's had a bunch of buried alive matches, a bunch of Hell in the Cell matches. I mean, he's definitely thrown down the table. And if I would tell you guys my top matches with him, if I had to really put my top five right now, I would probably go number one, WrestleMania 25, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Number two will be WrestleMania 26, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels Part 2, because I just love the fact that these guys threw the house down right there. Number three will be WrestleMania 27 with Triple H and The Undertaker. You got to put them guys up there. Number four is the end of an era, WrestleMania 28. I mean, just them four WrestleManias were just so freaking good. And I got a tiebreaker between five. I'm gonna put WrestleMania 23 with The Undertaker and Batista, who threw the house down. And I'm also gonna have to throw the WrestleMania 36 when he took on AJ Styles in the cinematic match. Just for him to go out like that, to me, was such a great thing to watch, man. So that's, you guys, that is my input on The Undertaker and his greatness. You guys, he is one of the best of all times. If you guys ever want to know about The Undertaker, this is him, bro. He is the GOAT. He is the number one. There is no one to me that is better than him. I don't think I could ever put anybody above him. I mean, I look at all the superstars. I mean, even at number two is Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I can't even put him up there. And I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think he's one of the best. Well, there you guys go for this first episode. I want to thank you guys for checking this first episode out. It's been good with you guys. It's been nice to see you guys. If you guys want to check it out, next episode is coming out next Sunday at 1 p.m. We're going to be talking about the Atlanta Falcons. All right. Part one is coming next Sunday at 1. I hope you guys check it out. I hope you guys have a great night. Do not forget to subscribe to Jimdirt54 and make sure you guys hit me up and check it out, okay? You guys have a great night. Hope to see you guys in episode 2 next Sunday. See you guys.